Welcome back to Sports Talk with Dad. As always, my name is Kyle, and I cannot call this Sports Talk with Dad without the man sitting next to me. A man so old, he gets those kind of physicals at the doctor. My dad, Tim.
Yeah, and I'm never doing it again.
You got to do them. You are at that age.
Yes, your grandfather.
You've been at that age for about 500 years now.
Shut up. Your grandfather had colon cancer. I went and did it. Ended up having emergency surgery 3 days later. Not doing it again.
So you went, they found something, corrected it so you didn't die, and now you're saying you'll never have it done again?
They didn't find what they were looking for. They found something else.
Yeah.
It's like your Uncle Mark having melanoma and passing away from it. I looked at the doctor when he said, 1 in 4 people get melanoma. I said, yes, my brother got it. He's the 1 in 4. I'm good.
Because you have 4 siblings.
And
But still, so what you're telling me, you went, you got your colonoscopy, and they found something that had to be fixed. And because they found something that needed to be fixed, you say, I'm never going to get it done again.
It didn't need to be fixed before I went for the colonoscopy. It was afterwards.
Yeah, it
Like
did
3
need to be
days
fixed.
afterwards. We aren't going into this. It's gross. Let's talk football. Speaking of
Let's
gross.
talk
Speaking of gross weekends, my Badgers, our Packers.
Ohio State didn't play, but I'm sure they would have won.
Shut up. Just shut up.
The hard part of the schedule starting to show up, though. The Badgers were terrible. They were
Yes.
what, 20-point favorites, something like that, and just got blown out at home.
Number one, their starting quarterback, Billy Elliott Jr. or Edwards Jr. came and tried to play. He went out again. That knee is shot.
It's done. His
It's
career's
done.
over.
For the 3rd year in a row, Fickle has brought in a quarterback, and that guy's gotten hurt.
Here's the problem I have with college football fans. With any fan, really,
Yeah.
with a new coach. Like, you have a new coach because your team is terrible. Like, it's bad. The coach wouldn't have been fired unless your team was bad, unless your coach is the reason your team was bad. In college, it's different, right? Because recruits have a lot to do with it. There was nothing. The
No.
cupboard was completely bare at Wisconsin. It is like when Harbaugh took over Michigan. These same chants were happening for Harbaugh, and I'm not saying Fickle is Jim Harbaugh and going to
No.
take the Badger national championship. I don't think that's going to happen. I want to make that clear. But the closet is completely bare in Wisconsin. They didn't even have a strength program.
No, and they were losing recruits within the state, which never happened under Barry and to a certain extent under Bielema.
Yep.
But it started to wear down as the years went on under Chris.
Yep.
Fickle's coming in, having to rebuild from nothing, having to start an NIL program that
Brand
didn't
new.
exist.
Did not.
I'm not panicking yet. He's a great coach. I don't think he gets to the championship game. I think he has he can take Wisconsin and get them into the playoffs with the amount of teams that are there.
He'll take them back to where they were. I mean, let's be honest, and this is nothing against your Badgers, okay? I want to make this clear. The Badgers have a ceiling. They just do. In the Big Ten, you can only get so good before you have to face Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan.
There was, since Barry came in the early 90s, I can count maybe 3 seasons that if they didn't have the one loss, they would have been in the top 1 or 2 teams.
94 probably the biggest season.
Probably. Yeah, but they lost to, I think, Minnesota that year.
Right.
You just don't lose to your biggest rival.
He didn't show up. They looked past him. Young coach, looked past a team, learned a lesson, never got back there again. But they have a ceiling. And Badger fans also have to recognize that. You have a ceiling. You can only get so good.
Except for the fact they've got a lot of NIL money. They've got to spend
You
it wisely.
told me that.
They've got it. They've got a huge war chest. They've got to spend it right. The Badgers have everything in place. And for those Badger fans that are saying Fickle should be fired after year 3 and with this team, you're out of your mind. Give the guy 5 years and let's see where we are.
You have to give coaches, in college specifically, and I've said this on this show several times, you have to give coaches 4 to 5 years to build their team. If year 5, you're still losing,
Sure.
then you let the coach go. But if you are rebuilding a program, you're dedicated to rebuilding a program, you have to give that coach, because that's his team then. His recruits have grown. Now it's different in NIL days, and I understand that. But still, you have to give him at least another year. If they're still this bad next year,
Then you've got to make some
you got to
decisions.
make a decision.
I mean, and I don't believe he's that bad. I mean, he took a Cincinnati team to the finals.
Yeah.
He's a great coach. And I still say Ryan Day goes to the NFL for some unknown reason.
Fickle's gone.
They're
He's going to
getting,
Ohio
they're
State.
getting the Fickle, and he will win
Yeah.
instantly. I have a bigger question for you getting to the NFL.
I want to talk more about how the Badgers are doing terrible.
We are transitioned to the NFL.
All right.
Which fan base has more reason to be panicked? The Baltimore Ravens or the Green Bay Packers?
Packers.
See, I think it's the Ravens.
It's the
clearly.
Packers.
No. Different reasons. Why are your reasons you think it's Packers?
Because this is what I was nervous about in the beginning of the season.
I said it was a trap game last week.
It was, but this is Matt LaFleur's coaching. I said we should have gotten rid of him last year, and I still think that's the case. This is Matt LaFleur not showing up for a game. The Ravens have never not shown up for a game. Different things happen that cause them to lose. The Packers, I think Jordan Love is great. I really do. I don't think he's put in situations where he can't win. There was a situation last week where the offensive lineman is yelling, "Run, Jordan, run!"
One of the funniest things, Myles Garrett's on the sideline talking about the fact he blew right past the right tackle.
Nobody touched him.
Nobody touched him. I mean, and all the tackle could do is go, "Jordan, run!"
But how do you have a game plan where Myles Garrett goes free? Completely free. It can't happen.
No, you've got to keep your running back or an extra tight end back to deal with
You have
him.
3 tight ends
Mhm.
for this situation. That is game plan completely. I get the offensive line it's not that banged up. It's just you're doing these weird things. You're moving people around all the time so they can't get set. You're screwing with people's minds, in turn screwing with people's paychecks so they look bad. They're not getting paid someplace else. Matt LaFleur's got to go. It was terrible play calling. It was a terrible game plan.
it was a
the
vanilla.
defense tried to bail you out several
Wait a
times.
minute. In the NFL, if a defense holds the opposition to 13 points,
You better win.
better win. And it was the most vanilla game plan I ever saw. Here's what
'Cause
I'm
he didn't care. It's like it's the Browns. We can do whatever we want and we'll win. That's an NFL franchise with NFL players. There's
With a-
no easy game in the NFL.
with a really
This
good
isn't
head
college
coach.
playing the Badgers. That one you can take a nap for.
That was cheap.
That
and
was very cheap.
beneath you. But Stefanski is a very good head coach.
He's a very good
He
head
had the
coach.
Browns ready.
Hey, he's going to be fired by the Browns. Bring him to Green Bay. I'm done with LaFleur. This happens every single year. I'm a Packer fan. I'm more panicked than a Ravens fan. The reason I say the Ravens shouldn't be as panicked is because Derrick Henry
Fumbled,
is doing something he's never done
fumbled
before.
3 times in 3 games.
It's in his head. He hasn't had a 100-yard game yet, which is
Ravens completely haven't had a 100-yard rushing in a
which
game.
is so weird.
Yes. And their defense is not stopping people.
No, the defense is not good. He doesn't have receivers getting open. He has no time. The offensive line is not doing what they need to do to protect Lamar Jackson. They just need to get back in sync, and they'll be perfectly fine. I think Buffalo messed with their brains, and they're coming back from that. I think they're going to have a huge comeback this next week against the Chiefs. And I will say, the loser of next week's game, Ravens-Chiefs, will not make the playoffs.
Okay. Here's the thing and you and I talked about this as we were doing the show prep. If Jordan Love was working with Mike McCarthy or Mike Holmgren,
Yeah.
2 most recent Packer coaches, he'd be a different quarterback
Very different quarterback.
and a successful one.
Very successful.
You nailed it. This is almost like when Favre was working with Mike Sherman.
Yeah.
And Sherman let him do whatever and call his own play, and really you had to keep a leash on Brett Favre.
Well, and the difference is that Brett Favre had been developed at that point.
Right.
He was in his prime.
He played for years under Holmgren, but Sherman let him play loose. And Jordan's just not getting any direction from LaFleur.
No.
That last interception he threw, was it a bad pass? Yes, but it never should have been. That play never should have been called at that point.
Nope. It's just bad calling. He's calling the plays, and these are bad calls all the way around. He has one good game where he actually shows up, and it's like, he looks brilliant. No, the game went exactly how he thought it would go. But when the game doesn't go when he thinks it's the way he thinks it's going to go, he turtles.
Under Matt LaFleur, they play down to their competition.
Every
They
time.
don't generally play up and over their competition.
Very rarely.
They don't step up against the Eagles last year,
Nope.
and they got beat. The only time I can think that they actually did do that was when they beat the Cowboys in the playoffs.
They did step up against the 49ers, got beat last second. Jordan Love threw a bad pass in his rookie season as quarterback. It's all coaching. This is all coaching, and that's why I say Packer fans should be more panicked. Do you disagree with me?
No, I don't. I don't, because I trust John Harbaugh. And
Coaching. Do you trust the coach? Yes or no? That's the question.
Here's my question. So the Packers have a bye in week 5.
Yeah. Fire LaFleur. Fire him.
I'm right there with you.
There's no point of having Matt LaFleur calling
and
plays
this-
anymore if this is the game plan you're going to have.
And this is why the silo that the Packers put into effect under Mark Murphy can't happen. The GM has to be over the coach.
Listen, Gutekunst, I know I've given him a lot of flack over the past few years.
This is a good team he's built.
This is a real good team he's built. It's finally coming to fruition. Whoever the wide receiver coach is now in Green Bay, give him a trophy because they're actually catching with their hands now. This is all game plan. That's all this is. The difference between great teams and good teams is the coach. We've seen really, really good coaches win with bad teams. Kevin Stefanski being one of them with the Cleveland Browns. He's won with bad teams. This is a great team. And the whole thing, by the way, about I don't like that the team was talking undefeated. One, you had no issues with it when you were winning ball games. This wasn't brought up once the team was even talking about it. You never put a squash on it in any of your press conferences before. So for you to do that after a loss is complete and total BS. Two, you're mad that your team thinks they can run the table? Are you kidding me right now? You're upset that your team is I'm so fired up and choking. You think your team, you're upset that your team is so fired up, that they're so bought in. They're so excited because they know they can win, and you're mad about that. Are you serious right now?
Team reflects its coach. And unfortunately, a lot of times when you watch LaFleur on the side, he almost, it's going to sound bad, and I don't mean it to sound as bad as it's going to, but he looks whiny on the sidelines. I don't think he has a respect of the referees.
You know who's the perfect quarterback for Matt LaFleur? Caleb Williams, because they both start to pout when they lose. They're two peas in a pod. Two people who should not have the starting jobs in their respective positions.
And I don't know why we're surprised. He had the 30th ranked offense when he was offensive coordinator. And
listen, he won with Rodgers because Rodgers bailed him out.
You've got one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks of all time. You better win.
And then all of a sudden you have LaFleur or Love,
who's got the skills.
And you're winning with a really good built team. Again, if the game plan goes exactly the way he thought it would go, he looks like a genius, but he can't adjust on the fly. When he's calling plays as a play caller, you need to be able to see the defense is doing something different. I have a plan B, I have a plan C, I have a plan Z if needed. He has a plan A, and he's like, well, we might as well just start running the ball then because this isn't working.
And this is the one case.
And then we'll bomb it down the field.
Well, and this is the one case where the Packers were ahead before Love threw that interception. Remember, they lost the game in the last 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
That was one we criticized LaFleur for running 2, throwing a bomb, missing, and then punting the ball. In this case, they should have punted the ball and trusted their defense.
You have a great defense. It's not a bad idea. It's the best defense. I mean, we should have never been in that position. We should have blown out the Browns.
Should have.
LaFleur needs to be let go, which brings me to a point that we're going to hold on because I do want to go back to this because you overlooked what I just said, and I want to know your opinion on it. 14% of teams that have gone 1-3 since 1990 have made the playoffs.
Okay,
That's it, 14%.
Packers aren't 1-3.
But the Ravens and the Chiefs could be.
Yes, one of them will be.
One of them will be. The Ravens or the Chiefs will not make the playoffs. The loser of that game will not make the playoffs this year.
The Chiefs have looked particularly inept. They just seem out of sync. They've gotten old, and
They've
they
gotten
don't.
very old.
And
Kelsey's hurt 2 players now.
Right, and they don't have a lot of the players that they had during the big run for the Super Bowls. Andy Reid's still the best coach in the game.
Patrick Mahomes still best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the weapons, and they're asking him to do it on his own shoulders. And so, yeah, I think whoever loses this game, and I can see the Ravens, as you said, it's in their head. They're either going to make a huge statement against the Chiefs and bury them, and then, yes, the Chiefs are done, and they'll try to set up for next year. If the Chiefs somehow beat the Ravens, and they shouldn't, I still think the Ravens have a chance to come back, but it'll be very, very hard to do.
I think the Chiefs aren't going to make the playoffs either way. I think the Ravens are going to come into this game and absolutely demolish the Chiefs. I think I said that wrong. The Ravens are going to come in here and absolutely demolish the
It's
Chiefs.
going to be a
Right? I don't know.
It could be a statement game for the Ravens. But let's go from bad to worse. The poor Giants. They announced today
Poor
that
Giants, they've done it to themselves.
they've been bad for a while, and today they have benched Russell Wilson. Now, yeah, that's probably going to be the end of the career for Russell Wilson by the end of the season at the very least. But I've got a bigger question for you.
Okay.
When he was in Seattle, he was considered a Hall of Fame lock at one point.
Yeah.
Then he went to Denver. Then he went to Pittsburgh. And now he's with the Giants. Do you think he ever sees a Hall of Fame unless he buys a ticket?
I mean, if Kurt Warner's a Hall of Famer, Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer.
Keep
I'm serious.
Warner
That's
out of
the
it.
floor. Kurt Warner's the first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, that's your floor. You've made it the NBA Hall of Fame. Everybody gets in.
Do you think Wilson deserves to be in?
No.
Thank you.
I don't.
Yeah, you know how I feel about him. He's Badger, and I'm a fan.
He's a good quarterback on some great teams. He had some really good years with Pete Carroll there. I think the whole Broncos situation messed with his mind, but I also think he just got old.
I also think in Denver, his ego was writing checks his body couldn't cash.
Yeah, he got humbled, but it was too late to come back from it.
Well,
I mean,
the whole thing was having your own office and whatever. Who the hell do you think you are?
he kept asking for it. They kept giving it to him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the last year of an ownership group who was trying to sell the team, made it look good. The team bought, or the Walmart family bought the Broncos, and then it all went to hell. They tried something, and it worked. Not for the team, but to sell the team, it worked.
Yes. And now they've got Sean Payton, and we'll see what happens with Bo Nix. I unfortunately think Wilson's Hall of Fame aspirations are now gone. I mean, I just don't see it. He won one Super Bowl, got to another one.
It's enough to get in the Hall of Fame.
Why isn't Mike Holmgren in the Hall of Fame
I
yet?
don't know. It's a good question. He took 3 teams to the Super Bowl.
He was great offensive coordinator, great coach with the Packers. He taught Brett Favre, for God's sakes. If anybody can do that, automatic 5 years you're in.
Took Matt Hasselbeck, run Seattle Seahawks to the Super Bowl. I mean,
Poor Matt. His legacy is we're going to win the toss and we're going to go down and win the game. Didn't quite work.
Al Harris, interception, touchdown,
Anyway.
ball game.
He should be in. I mean, he built that Seattle team.
Yeah, he definitely
He
did.
should have been
People
in
forget
Green-
he was the GM of that team.
He should have been in Green Bay as the GM, but that's another story.
That is another that we'll never know the answer to. But no, I don't think Russell Wilson honestly gets in. I mean, again, I do believe the fact that, hey, you if you're better than the lowest person here, then you should get in. And Kurt Warner's first ballot Hall of Famer. So by all accounts, Russell Wilson should be in. Eli should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. They all have better numbers than him. But that was clearly an outlier. And no, Russell Wilson is not a Hall of Famer.
He's not going to get the gold jacket for. If he does, it's years and years from now.
It is. I have something that I think is very, very true.
Okay.
With the way the NFL is going so far this year, a minimum of 5 coaches will be fired before Thanksgiving.
Well, we know it's not Dan Campbell because the Lions are back.
Dan Campbell is clearly the straw that stirs the lion's drink.
Okay, I'm waiting for your 5. I know Matt LaFleur is on your list.
He's a bubble one. So the 3 that I think are truly going to happen, I think D'Amico Ryans from the Houston Texans will be let go. I think that has run its course. That offensive line is terrible. You're going to blame one of two people. You're going to blame C.J. Stroud, which I don't think you can, because he has no time in the pocket to do anything. That defense is being wasted at this point because of the offensive ineptitudes. I think he's going to be let go. The Dolphins, they're going to let go of their head coach. I think that will be by week 6 at this point.
Okay, the problem with the Dolphins is whoever comes after is still going to be saddled with Tua's contract.
No, you can get out of it after next year. You can eat it. I mean, you're going to have to.
It's $54 million.
Yeah, but you can ride it out even for next year and get ready for your next quarterback. I mean, you keep him as a backup. He's gone. You're going to ride with Tua next year for at least a little while, and then he's your backup for the rest of the season, and you're out of the contract. It's over.
Okay, next.
The Giants. Daboll's done. Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones himself, has ensured that Daboll will be fired very, very shortly. There's a reason he's going to Jackson Dart right now. 1, he gives your team best chance to win. You have no choice. You don't go to him now, you lose the locker room. 2, you don't go to him now, you lose your job.
Well, it's a desperation move, obviously.
It is a complete and total desperation move at this point. He's done. There's no way he makes it because you're putting Jackson Dart in at the worst possible time.
The only argument I'll make against that is the Merritt family never fires during the season. They never have.
They're going to this time.
You think?
It has to be done. You're putting Jackson Dart in against the Chargers of all teams. You could wait till next week and go against the Saints. Like, why wouldn't you have done that?
Because they want to have some chance to win.
It's a desperation move. And Daboll's trying to keep his job. Okay. It's going to fail. On the bubble, I think the Bengals are going to fire their head coach. It's time.
Okay. Why? He can't. Joe Burrow got hurt. It's not his fault.
How many times is that going to happen, though? I mean, it's time. It's run its course. You're not getting anywhere with that team. They're going to fire him. You have to blame somebody at some point.
Wait,
it's always the head coach.
Okay. If you're doing that, fine.
I just don't think he's going to make it. I do think they should trade for Jameis Winston. If you're going to trade for anybody, bring in Jameis. 1, Jamar Chase is going to break every NFL single season record. Well, it'll be fun to watch. 2, it's going to be the greatest show we've ever seen.
Look, Jameis Winston is a great athlete, and he's got a killer arm.
He does.
It'd be fun to watch.
I mean, he's 3rd on the depth chart in New York. You get a 6th or 7th for him. Why not?
Sure.
I think they're going to trade for him. The Browns. Stefanski's a great head coach.
I don't think Stefanski gets fired this season.
I think he could be fired before Thanksgiving. I think they're just going to move in a different direction, call it a day, because I don't think he's going to start Shedeur.
No, he's not. He doesn't like Shedeur. He didn't want him.
And I think that's it. That's the Haslam's pick. They're going to want him to move into the starting role, and he's going to say no, and that'll be the end of the conversation.
Okay, I can see that as possibly
he's going to be fired. And then my other bubble is the Green Bay Packers. It's time for Matt LaFleur to go. There's a new president in town, and he can't be happy with what he just saw. And this isn't an overreaction for me, by the way, because of 1 week. We could have easily lost to the Lions in the 4th quarter, but we had a big lead. They almost came back. I was at the Washington game, and if that guy didn't miss 2 field goals, we had a good chance of losing that game in the 4th quarter. Like this, they're both have looked good, but then all of a sudden we start losing the game towards the end, and it's like, what's going on here?
Well, and you put your finger on it. Ed Policy comes from, obviously, the family of Carmen Policy. That's his dad, who built the 49ers.
Right.
He's not going to be very patient with somebody that's not winning. I said it a couple weeks ago that I could see the Packers making a move at the bye week. And you put in Hafley to ride it out, see what he's got.
Why not? You're going to lose Hafley at the end of the year to be a head coach anyway. You might as well see if he can be your head coach.
Exactly.
Matt LaFleur experiment is done.
And I will tell you this. The Packers, and you've got to be my age to be able to really relate to this, but the Packers situation right now feels a lot like the 82 Brewers in this regard. They had a manager named Buck Rogers. Team wasn't relating to him. They weren't listening to him. They weren't performing at all. Fired him, brought in Harvey Keene, who was more loose and relaxed, and they took off and they got to the World Series. LaFleur's message has gotten tired now. He's been here a long time. They aren't reacting and they're not playing up to their levels for him. It may be time, as you said, you got to blame somebody. It's always the coach. Maybe now is the time to move on and just see if that'll light a fire under them. Because their defense is too good to have the offense not carry up their end, because they've got talent on that offense right now between Kraft and Musgrave at tight end and the wide receivers who are catching the ball with their hands, which I love to see. Plus, you've got Josh Jacobs as your running back.
Yeah.
And I still think Jordan Love, I've heard people around here going, no, he's a bust. He just doesn't have it. That's not true. Love has every skill to get them to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's time. And you need to make that move now. I think the team would be very, very excited for that to happen. LaFleur will be gone before Thanksgiving. I think at the bye week, you need to make that move.
Okay. Now we have to ask and see what the audience thinks about your picks.
You let us know what you think in the comments below. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get to enjoy this show as much as we enjoy making it.
Such a blank stare when I said that. You're looking at me like, what are you talking about?
I caught on. I'm here. I'm awake.
Okay.
Daniel Jones is the number one reason that Daboll will be fired, because Daniel Jones will be the MVP
of the
league this year.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
It is going to be the case this year. Let me read off these stats to you. Daniel Jones this year.
Yeah.
He is third in total pass yards. He is third in passer rating. He has the lowest sack percentage in the entire NFL, 72% completion percentage. He's rushed for 3 touchdowns, passed for 3 touchdowns. This guy is a monster.
Oh,
and he is going to win the MVP this year.
He has a chance to be the
0 interceptions.
He's got a chance to be the comeback player of the year. Let's not get all MVP-ish after 3 games.
Well, listen, if you have to pick an MVP right now, this isn't getting all MVP-ish. This is real. If you were to pick an MVP right now, Daniel Jones is in that conversation for MVP of the league.
Yeah, the conversation, but I don't think we're there yet. I think it's way too early. Let's see what happens.
Daniel Jones will end up being the MVP of the league.
You know what? I hope it does, because he never got a fair shot in New York. Again, a coach that didn't work with him properly. I'd like to see guys come back for a second time and have their redemption. And Daniel Jones is making the most of his second chance.
And this is the problem. And I think LaFleur and Daboll kind of sit in this same kind of place where you're like, this is my system. Everybody needs to fit in my system, rather than saying, these are the players I have. I need to make my system work with these players. They're not adjusting. They're not figuring it out. Jackson Dart is the quarterback he's been waiting for, right? And I don't think it's going to work out. I think it's too late. He's going to be let go. Daniel Jones in Indianapolis. This is crazy.
He's looked great.
This is absolute. They are 3-0.
Yeah. Who would have thought that?
I mean, I didn't. I had them as possibly the number 1 overall pick. This is a different team. This is a different player. This is the Daniel Jones that was drafted 3rd overall.
And he's
6 overall. Sorry.
Whatever he was, he's looking great. Let's see what happens as the year plays out.
That's fair. Another thing, a big take, is the Eagles' offense is brilliant. With the way they do things, because you think about it, right? Their run, we're going with Saquon. We're going to run all day long. Our passing game is non-existent until we need it. And then we're going to all of a sudden show up. A.J. Brown is going to get monster numbers. I mean, they can turn it on like that with the switch.
And they have a quarterback is probably the most underrated quarterback as a Super Bowl champion I've ever seen, other than Bart Starr. I mean, Jalen Hurts is really, really good.
Jalen Hurts is absolutely outstanding. The fact that people still don't have him in their top 5, I get why they're scoring him that way, but how in the world can you not have him in your top 5 quarterback? This guy time and time again just shows up.
And wins. He knows how to win.
I, it is crazy to see just how they can flip a switch. I mean, that is still the team to beat. Normally, you see a Super Bowl champion, they're not always doing the same. You have the Chiefs and the Patriots where they do their thing, but they lost a lot on defense.
Mhm.
But they have just flipped it right back on, and they are still the team to beat in the
Yes,
NFC.
they are. All right. It's time now for that part of the show that you always dread. It's for the picks.
I know I didn't do all this.
Neither did I. We were both 2 and 3.
Really?
Yeah, it was awful.
You coming back to earth on me?
Yeah, like I knew I would. I mean, my God.
Well, the Rams didn't win, although they should have.
I picked the Eagles in that
Yeah,
game.
that's fair.
So that was one of the 2 I got right. All right. This is going to be an interesting week.
Okay.
Good games. We've got the Eagles at the Buccaneers.
Mike Evans is out. He's
Right.
hurt. He's out 3 to 4 weeks. I don't know if Godwin is coming back, but Ibuka from The Ohio State University is sure looking like an outstanding pick because he's from The Ohio State University. So, of course, he would.
You want to say it again?
The Ohio State University. The Eagles' offense is absolutely brilliant. What they do, how they're able to turn it on and off when it comes to the passing game versus the running game is great. This is in Tampa. I think Baker's out there to prove a point. They're one of the best teams in the NFC. I'm actually taking the Buccaneers in this one.
All right. I'm not going to pick against the Eagles. I just think they're the best team in the league. And Tampa is a hot place to play. It makes it difficult sometimes this time of the year for northern teams to go down south, but I think they'll be fine. Eagles win. All right. Ravens at the Chiefs. We talked about that a little bit earlier.
Again, the team that loses this game is not making the playoffs. This is a big game. I said it earlier in the show. I'm going to stick to it. I think the Ravens come in and make a statement and just go on a streak.
You and I are on the same page with that one. I'm taking the Ravens. I don't think it's going to be close.
All right.
All right. This is one I never thought we would be picking. The Jags. The Jacksonville Jaguars against the 49ers.
2-1 Jacks. I told you the Jaguars were going to be good this year. San Francisco's going with Mac Jones. Purdy is still out, and they're facing that injury bug again. I'm a believer in the Jaguars. I think they figured something out. I think Liam Cohen is riding high. You're seeing Trevor Lawrence in a way I don't think I've ever seen him before. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to go into San Francisco and leave 3-1.
Could happen very easily. I'm still going to trust the more veteran team and the more veteran coach, and I'm taking the 49ers. All right. Colts at the Rams.
Oh, I know we're picking different on this one. Daniel Jones is the MVP of the league as of now, and I think that's going to continue. I'm kind of waiting for him to come back down to earth a little bit here, but with him, with Taylor, with the way the defense is playing, I'm going to ride with the Colts at this point until they show me otherwise.
The Rams should have beaten the Eagles.
They should have.
Block kick at the end of the game.
I know you're picking the Rams. Everybody knows you're picking the Rams.
Let me go with what I get to say my point.
Okay, who you picking?
I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, there you go.
They're
going to win because I hate you, and I hate the Rams.
Look, the Rams got to have a great receiving core. As long as Matt Stafford stays healthy, they've got arguably the absolute best coach in the league.
Of course they do. I mean, this team doesn't win without him as their head coach.
I wonder if the Packers can.
Yeah, I doubt it.
All right. Last game, Packers go to Dallas. This is a go-back home day for Micah Parsons.
Yeah, well, Jerry Jones came out and said, yeah, this is a big game with Parsons coming home. There's a lot on the line here. The Packers should win this game, and I don't pick against the Packers. But if they show up like they did against the Browns,
they're destroyed.
It's going to be over quick. I mean, this all depends on which Matt LaFleur shows up.
Well, hopefully the Matt LaFleur that knows his job is on the line right now, because I think it is.
I agree. I mean, I'm picking the Packers, but I'm very nervous about this game.
I'm picking the Packers because on paper, they're the better team.
Yeah.
But I'm really nervous.
They're going to get to Dak. Rashawn Gary leads the league with 4.5 sacks right now. I don't even know seasons where he's had 4.5 sacks after Thanksgiving.
It's
I
a
mean,
Micah-
this is Micah Parsons, and he's
Yeah.
taking advantage of it.
and he's going to be on fire to go into Dallas.
He is. I think Parsons going to get a sack in this game. I think Rashawn Gary's going to get a couple.
I think Micah's going to get more than 1 sack. in
I
this
hope
game.
so. I mean, the defense is going to have to win this game because if we've seen the problem with Matt LaFleur is normally we see this towards the later in the season where he starts to choke. For him to choke this early,
He knows he's got a Super Bowl caliber team right now.
he does. And he's going to call terrible plays, and it's going to be bad.
All right, I took the Packers too because they should win.
They should
But
win.
I'm nervous.
I'm right there with you. If I didn't ever, I don't pick against the Packers. But if that wasn't the case, I'd be real tempted to take the Dallas Cowboys right now.
I pick against the Packers because I just go with what I honestly think.
Because
is
you're not a
gonna
real
happen.
Packer fan.
I am a huge,
I understand.
I'm a huge Packer
okay.
fan.
You'd pick against me if you were being honest.
Yeah, if I had a lot of money on the other side and I knew I'd win. What?
Yep.
There's nothing they don't
No
love. You're
loyalty.
Huge loyalty.
Zero loyalty right here. He admitted it. But you and I have had a great show. As you all know, you cannot have a conversation with your father without your dad getting the last word. So it is all you.
Yeah, every team in the country has the guy that stirs the drink. As Reggie Jackson said in the Yankees, he was the guy, the straw that stirred the drink. Dan Campbell is certainly that in Detroit. Micah Parsons is now that guy in Green Bay right now. These other teams had better find that because I've never seen a season where you have a bunch of really, really good teams and a bunch of really, really bad teams. I know they're going to even out as the season goes on, but as of right now, a lot of teams have to do a lot of soul searching.
Thank you, as always, so much for watching. This has been Sports Talk with Dad. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.